Hello, this is Rabbi Michael Weiner with Rabbi's Reflections for Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. Shalom. Psalm 38, verses 22 and 23, Part 10. Do not forsake me, Adonai, O my God, be not far from me. Hurry to my aid, my Lord, my salvation. King David concludes this psalm with three quick declarations as he implores God not to leave him, to not be far away, meaning to stay close to him. And finally, to be quick or in a hurry to help him. And yet, I want to focus today on the last two Hebrew words of the psalm, Adonai Teshuati, meaning God. God's name, Adonai, is actually specifically written out, Adonai, Adonai in Hebrew. You will be my Savior. Teshuati, you will be my Savior. Yesterday, I accepted an invitation to speak at Roane State Community College campus in Oak Ridge as part of their adult continuing education program called Oracle. They asked me to teach one class, a session titled Yeshua, a Light to Both Jews and Christians. The challenge I faced was that several of my students were neither Jewish nor Christian. At one point in the class, I was challenged by one of the students, with apparently no religious background. Quote, she said, Jesus is never really mentioned in the Old Testament. This is a lie commonly spread by rabbis. So, she continued, so why do we even need a Savior? Her question seemed to suck the air out of the room, at least for me. I wish I had studied this verse yesterday instead of today. Here is Yeshua's name in Psalm 38, in the last two words. I did tell her that Jewish people have always needed an intermediary, for example, the Aaronic priesthood, or even the sacrificial system, laying on of hands to the soon-to-be sacrificed animal in identification and in a transfer of sin. She answered me like this, we've not done sacrifices in quite a long time, as if that makes any difference. I also mentioned every Jewish prophet called upon Yeshua's name, but that didn't seem to change her heart or mind. The best answer, of course now I can think of the best answer, is actually a question. In Genesis chapter 3, we read this, verse 15, I will put animosity between you and the woman. God is speaking to the snake. Between your seed and her seed. He will crush your head, speaking of the spirit of Antichrist, Satan, that had come into the snake, and you will crush his heel. The answer to the question is this, and she must answer it. Who is going to crush the serpent's head? We can't do it ourselves. We're not called to it. We don't have the wherewithal. Satan's demonic spirit had entered the serpent to bring rebellion against the loving protection of God into the world, infecting humanity with a spiritual sickness that causes physical, emotional, and spiritual death. In the Hebrew liturgy of Yom Kippur, we often sing, Ki ein banu ma'asim, meaning, for there is nothing within us to make anything. In other words, we got no fixins with which we can fix our sin problem that we've all inherited from Father Adam and Mother Eve. Galatians 4:4, but when the fullness of time came, God sent out his Son, born of a woman, born under law, to free those under law, so we might receive adoption as sons. One other student in the class rightly offered this, John 14, verse 6. Yeshua said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. And I would add what Yeshua said next, in the very next verse, John 14, verse 7. If you have come to know me, you will know my Father also. From now on, you do know him and have seen him. Actually, both the evidence and the proof of our need for the Savior is on every page of the Old Testament and the New Testament. Before I make this the longest RR ever, I'm going to give Yeshua the last word and close the discussion. For Yeshua went on to say in John 5, verse 46, "If you were believing Moses, you would believe me, because he wrote about me. But since you do not believe his writings, how will you believe my words?" Is Yeshua mentioned in the Old Testament? I recommend Asher and Trader's book, Who Ate Lunch with Abraham? Yeshua appears many times through the Hebrew Scriptures, and Asher points out quite a few of them. These last two words of Psalm 38 provide all the answer anyone needs. Adonai Teshuati, meaning, Lord, you will be my salvation. Shalom, shalom.